Nearpod is an online-based tool that can be used to create interactive and collaborative lessons for students in the classroom. I've created a lesson of my own using this tool for the ELA Kindergarten Standard that focuses on identifying the character, setting, and major events of a story. Aside from the content standard in this lesson, students are also focusing on the IRSI standard of empowered learners with an emphasis on 1.1a and 1.1c. The learning objectives or I can statements that students should be able to meet at the end of this lesson are I can name the characters in a story, I can name the setting in a story, and I can remember the big events in a story. The lesson on these platforms can be taught in teacher-led or student-led pace. However, given the standards mentioned of with prompting and support, this lesson would be taught in a teacher-led approach using the live participation where students follow along with their own devices. The lesson begins by tapping into the students' background knowledge and engaging them by sharing a story they last read or heard with a focus on who was in the story, where did it happen, and what happened in it. I feel as though asking the students this question builds their confidence on the topic because they can all have something to share. Furthermore, with the collaborative board option to record themselves and then go and listen to their peer stories, engaging them to explore the topic even more. As we continue into the lesson, we come to one information slide that introduces students to the 3W questions we can ask ourselves when we read any story to identify the character, setting, and big events. In this moment, the teacher can elaborate on this information in class with the students. We then come to our first interactive activity where students drag and drop the images into the right column, which is either character, setting, or big event. Once the students complete this activity, we will review it in class. We will then transition into the read aloud of the Three Little Pigs. During the read aloud, there are some open-ended questions that students will engage in, such as, what do you think the setting of the story is? What are the main characters? What are they doing? What will happen? What do you think the wolf will try? What do you think the wolf will blow down the brick house? The teacher can then read these questions aloud since there was not an option to do the audio recording for these into the video. Following the video, the students will answer 5 multiple choice questions to check their understanding of the character, setting, and big events in the story. The students will then use the Draw It feature to complete a story map for the Three Little Pigs by drawing in the boxes, adding pictures, or adding text if they would like. The lesson then ends with one more open question where students can reply an audio response answering what are the 3 questions we can ask ourselves when we are reading and what do they help us answer about the story. Throughout the lesson and activities the students complete, they are presented with various accessibility as questions and text are all paired with audio recording so that students can listen to them. They also are presented with opportunities to record their own responses with audio video option to showcase their own learning, and they can even draw in one of the activities, which allows students to access to demonstrate their learning in multiple ways. After completing my first Nearpod activity, I have learned how valuable it is to familiarize ourselves with these online tools that not only enhance my students' learning experience, but also provide me with opportunities to collect data, provide quick feedback, and make it accessible to all of them.